You saw it on YouTube. You saw it on Pinterest. You saw it on every real estate investment channel pushing the dream of wide open spaces and affordable living. A Quonset hut Barndominium for $150,000. Turnkey. Move-in ready. Your own slice of rural America at a fraction of the cost of a traditional home. And I'm going to be straight with you right now because that is what I do. What you are looking at in those videos is a marketing product, not an engineering product, not a code-compliant residential structure, a carefully photographed marketing product designed to separate you from your life savings before you ever talk to a single licensed engineer or pull a single permit. The real Barndominium story, the one the builders and the YouTube influencers are not telling you, involves thermal bridging failures that make your heating and cooling bills triple what you were promised, foundation anchor systems that do not meet residential code in most U.S. states, moisture and condensation problems that destroy your interior finishes within 18 months, and financing and insurance nightmares that can leave you holding a structure worth half what you paid to build it. I am Engineer Vance, licensed forensic structural engineer. I have evaluated Quonset and metal building Barndominium structures across the United States, and I have seen firsthand what happens when the Instagram dream collides with forensic engineering reality. Today, I'm going to give you the complete technical truth about what builders hide from you before you write that check. Let us start with the number itself, because the $150,000 Barndominium figure is one of the most deliberately misleading price points in the American construction market today. When a Quonset hut Barndominium kit manufacturer or builder quotes you that number, here is precisely what they are including in the price, and more importantly, what they are excluding. The kit price, which is what most of that figure represents, covers the pre-engineered steel shell, the curved ribbed panels, the anchor bolts, and the end wall framing. It does not cover the engineered foundation system, which for a residential occupancy metal building in most U.S. jurisdictions requires a full concrete perimeter foundation with engineered anchor bolt placement at a cost of $20,000 to $45,000, depending on your soil conditions and geographic location. It does not cover the interior framing system required to create habitable rooms, because a raw Quonset shell is a single open volume with no interior walls, no ceiling assembly, and no floor system beyond raw concrete. Interior framing, drywall, and finish work for a 2,000 square foot Barndominium adds between $40,000 and $80,000 to your project cost. It does not cover the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, which in a curved wall metal building are significantly more complex and expensive to install than in a conventional stick frame home, adding another $30,000 to $60,000. And it does not cover the insulation system, which in a Quonset structure is not optional, not simple, and not cheap. When you add the foundation, the interior build-out, the MEP systems, and the proper insulation assembly, the true all-in cost of a code-compliant, habitable Quonset Barndominium in the continental United States ranges from $280,000 to $400,000 for a structure in the $2,000 to $2,500 square foot range. That is not a $150,000 home. That is a decision made under deliberately incomplete financial information, and in my professional assessment, that constitutes a deceptive sales practice. Now let us get into the engineering, because this is where the Barndominium dream falls apart at a level that no amount of interior decoration can fix. There are three fundamental engineering problems with Quonset hut residential construction that the industry does not adequately disclose, and each one has a direct, measurable, and expensive impact on the performance of your home. The first and most severe is thermal bridging. A Quonset hut's structural system consists of steel ribs that span continuously from the foundation anchor points at grade level up and over the curved roof and back down to the opposite foundation anchors. Steel has a thermal conductivity of approximately 50 watts per meter Kelvin, compared to wood framing at approximately 0.12 watts per meter Kelvin. Steel conducts heat at a rate roughly 400 times faster than wood. Every single steel rib in that structure is a direct thermal highway between your interior conditioned space and the exterior environment. In a conventional stick frame home, the thermal bridging through wood studs represents approximately 15 to 20% of the wall assembly's total area. In a Quonset structure, where the ribs are the structural system, the bridging fraction is dramatically higher, and no amount of bad insulation installed between the ribs corrects this, because the ribs themselves remain completely uninsulated thermal pathways conducting your heating and cooling dollars directly to the outside air. The correct insulation assembly for a Quonset Barndominium, per building science principles codified in ASHRAE 90.1 and the International Energy Conservation Code, is a continuous rigid foam or spray polyurethane foam system applied to the interior face of the entire steel shell, covering the ribs completely to interrupt the thermal bridge. In a 2,000 square foot Barndominium, a code-compliant continuous insulation assembly, using 2-pound closed-cell spray polyurethane foam at a minimum of 3 inches thickness, the minimum required to achieve adequate vapor control in most U.S. climate zones, costs between $18,000 and $32,000 installed. That cost is almost never included in the advertised kit price, and the insulation systems that are included, typically faced fiberglass bats draped between the ribs, are thermally inadequate and a direct violation of IECC Energy Code requirements in climate zones 4 through 7, which covers the majority of the continental United States. The second engineering failure is condensation and moisture control. Steel has a dew-point condensation problem that wood framing simply does not have. When interior warm, humid air contacts the cold steel surface of an under-insulated Quonset rib during winter conditions, water vapor condenses directly onto the steel on the interior face of the structural system. This condensation runs down the ribs, accumulates at the base of the wall where the rib meets the concrete slab, saturates any insulation it contacts, and creates chronic moisture conditions that produce mold growth, corrosion of the steel anchor connections, and deterioration of any wood blocking or interior framing in contact with the slab edge. IRC Section R702 and ASHRAE 160 establish the moisture design criteria for residential wall assemblies, criteria that a raw Quonset shell with bat insulation between ribs cannot meet in any climate zone that experiences meaningful seasonal temperature differentials. The third engineering failure is foundation anchor system compliance. Quonset hut manufacturers provide anchor bolt layouts designed to resist specific wind and snow loads. Their shell structures are rated for, typically to IBC commercial occupancy standards, not IRC residential standards. In many jurisdictions, a Quonset structure converted to residential occupancy triggers IRC compliance requirements that the standard manufacturer anchor system does not meet without engineering modification, costing the owner between $15,000 and $28,000 in re-engineering and supplemental anchoring on a structure that was already under construction. Let me take you into a specific forensic investigation I conducted in Bexar County, Texas in 2023, a case that encapsulates every failure mode I have described, compressed into a single structure and a single family's financial disaster. The clients were a couple in their early 50s who had sold their suburban San Antonio home at peak market value in 2021 and purchased 8 acres in Bexar County with the intention of building their forever home as a Quonset Barndominium. They contracted with a regional Barndominium builder who quoted them a complete turnkey project at $210,000 for a 40 by 80 foot structure, approximately 2,400 square feet of living space, plus an integrated garage bay. Construction was completed in early 2022. By summer of 2022, their first full summer in the structure, they were experiencing interior temperatures that their HVAC system could not control despite running continuously. Their monthly electricity bill for June 2022 was $940 for a 2,400 square foot home. By October 2022, they were seeing condensation running down the interior steel ribs every morning when the overnight temperature dropped below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. By February 2023, they called me in after discovering visible mold growth at the base of 3 interior walls where the drywall met the concrete slab. My forensic investigation documented failures across 4 critical categories. The insulation system first. The builder had installed R19 craft-faced fiberglass bat insulation between the steel ribs, a system that provided zero continuous thermal break across the rib locations. Infrared thermography confirmed that the steel ribs were operating at exterior ambient temperature on their interior faces during winter conditions, creating condensation surfaces across approximately 30% of the total interior wall and ceiling area. The installed insulation system did not meet IECC 2021 requirements for Climate Zone 2B, the applicable zone for Bexar County, which requires a minimum continuous insulation R value of R5, in addition to cavity insulation for metal-framed assemblies under Table R402.1.2, the foundation anchor system second. My investigation revealed that the anchor bolts had been installed at the manufacturer's standard 12-inch embedment depth and 6-inch edge distance from the slab edge. Under ACI 318, Chapter 17, Anchor Design Provisions and the applicable wind design requirements for Bexar County, which sits in a 110 mile/hour basic wind speed zone per ASC 722, figure 26.51b. The required embedment depth was 16 inches with a minimum edge distance of 8 inches. The as-built anchor system had approximately 60% of the required pull-out capacity for the governing wind uplift load case. That is a life safety deficiency, not a cosmetic one. The moisture damage assessment, third. Core sampling of the concrete slab at the base of the 3 affected interior walls revealed that moisture had migrated laterally through the slab from the exterior grade, caused by the complete absence of a capillary break between the exterior soil and the slab edge. The bottom 2 inches of drywall along those walls showed chronic moisture content above 19%, the threshold above which mold growth becomes inevitable in organic materials per IICRC S520 standards, and the mechanical system fourth. The builder had sized the HVAC system based on a standard manual J-load calculation that did not account for the thermal bridging loads through the steel ribs. The actual heating and cooling loads for the structure were approximately 40% higher than the installed equipment capacity, meaning the system was structurally undersized from day one, not due to equipment failure, but due to a fundamentally incorrect load calculation that nobody caught because nobody with a license ever reviewed it. The remediation scope included complete interior demolition to the steel shell, installation of 3-inch closed-cell spray polyurethane foam across the entire interior shell surface at $26,000, mold remediation per IICRC S520 at $8,500, anchor bolt supplemental epoxy installation to achieve code-compliant embedment at $14,000, a capillary break installation at the slab perimeter at $4,200, HVAC system replacement with properly sized equipment at $11,000, and full interior reconstruction at $68,000. Total remediation cost, $132,000. On a structure that was supposed to be their affordable forever home. So if you are currently evaluating a Quonset Barndominium builder or kit package, here is what engineer Vance needs you to ask before you sign anything. Ask your builder whether the insulation specification includes a continuous thermal break across all steel rib locations. If the answer involves fiberglass bats installed between the ribs, that is a code-deficient insulation system in most U.S. climate zones, and you need to demand a closed-cell spray foam specification or walk away from that contract immediately. Ask whether the foundation design has been engineered by a licensed structural engineer and stamped for your specific site soil conditions and local wind and seismic design parameters. A manufacturer's standard anchor layout is not a site-specific engineering document, and if your builder cannot produce a PE-stamped foundation plan for your specific lot, you do not have an engineered foundation. Ask whether the structure has been designed for residential occupancy under IRC or for agricultural and commercial use under IBC, because many Quonset structures are certified for agricultural use only, and converting them to residential occupancy without re-engineering creates a structure that cannot legally be occupied, financed with a conventional mortgage, or insured under a standard homeowner's policy, and treat any all-in price below $250,000 for a turnkey residential Quonset Barndominium in the 2,000 square foot range as an automatic red flag, because that number means something critical is being excluded, and that excluded item will become your problem and your expense after the builder has cashed your check. If you are already living in a Quonset Barndominium and you recognize any of the failure modes I described today, your first priority is a thermal and moisture assessment. Commission an infrared thermography inspection of your entire interior shell surface during a cold weather period when there is at least a 15-degree Fahrenheit differential between interior and exterior temperatures. This inspection costs between $800 and $2,500 and will definitively map every thermal bridge location and every condensation risk zone in your structure. Your second priority is foundation anchor verification by a licensed structural engineer, reviewed against the wind design requirements for your specific location under ASHRAE 722. If your anchor system does not meet the calculated demand, supplemental epoxy anchor installation is a well-established remediation methodology, but it needs to happen before the next high wind event. Budget $8,000 to $20,000 for a full perimeter anchor remediation. Your third priority is a moisture and mold assessment at all wall-to-slab interfaces, with core sampling of the drywall at the base of every exterior wall. Address any active mold per IICRC S520 remediation protocols before any insulation or interior reconstruction work begins, because encapsulating active mold behind new interior finishes is both a health hazard and a future legal liability. The Quonset Barndominium concept is not inherently flawed. Steel is a durable, dimensionally stable, and structurally efficient building material. But residential construction is a code-governed, engineering-dependent discipline, and the barndominium market has been built on aspirational marketing rather than engineering transparency. The $150,000 price point is not a construction cost. It is a lead generation tool. And the gap between that number and the true cost of a code-compliant, livable, insurable, and financeable barndominium is where American families are losing their savings, their retirement equity, and in some cases, their physical safety. Before you sign any barndominium contract, hire an independent licensed structural engineer to review the specifications. Verify the insulation system against your IECC climate zone requirements. Confirm the foundation design is PE stamped for your site. And make sure that structure can receive a certificate of occupancy for residential use in your jurisdiction. Those 4 steps will cost you between $1,500 and $3,000. They will save you from $132,000 remediation. I am Engineer Vance. Protect your structure, protect your investment.